Pimento cheese is sometimes called the caviar of the South. But here's a little secret. It wasn't invented in the South. They didn't even use cheddar cheese. Hello, and welcome to the Iron Spoon Kitchen, where today the Iron Spoon is atop a couple of jars of pimientos, which I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. But this is the only ingredient that we still have in common with the original pimento cheese recipe. Here, take a look at this. This right here is from the March issue of Good Housekeeping from 1908. And look what it calls for. Cream cheese. Not cheddar, cream cheese. In the North, and in just about every professional cookbook that I researched, that cream cheese was pimento cheese. That cold spread you're picturing now, you don't see that show up until the late 1940s and 1950s. So if this is what you're thinking of as pimento cheese, well, today we're going to do something very different. I'm going to be making the 1908 version, which we're going to start off with, and then I'm going to do a recipe from 2018, 100 years later, from Southern Living. And we're going to see which is the best. And we'll even maybe give this a taste also to see how they're doing. I've just finished mincing 2 tablespoons of the pimentos. And this brand is a Goya brand, Pimento. And that was the original name because it's a type of pepper, the pimiento pepper. Okay, well, that part's done. And then we're going to get 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. Let me get this into here now. Pretty simple recipe. As you can tell already, it does not look like the stuff in the tub. Okay, we have 1 teaspoon of dried chives, and it says a salt spoon of mustard, and that's about a 1/4 of a teaspoon. And now we're just going to beat all that together. So here's the question that got me going. If this was pimento cheese for 50 years, how did it end up with the cheddar cheese? Which the pimento cheese nowadays is about as southern as you can get, just like sweet tea. So here's his history that I think you'll find of interest. Pimento cheese is definitely a southern mainstay. The ingredients for pimento cheese, however, originated in the 1870s. Dairy farmers in New York produced American Neufchâtel cheese, which is soft, crumbly, and it's a spreadable type of cheese. And it originally came from France. American Neufchâtel cheese changed into cream cheese, and which is very similar to what we have today. Pimentos began arriving, or pimientos I should say, from Spain to the United States in the 1870s. They were considered a luxury imported good and were paired with cream cheese to produce pimento cheese. By the 1930s, Georgia was the top pimento producing state. Pimento cheese became a product of the South when manufacturers noticed its popularity and began producing it commercially. Pimento cheese sandwiches became common, and even soldiers during World War I ate pimento cheese. Before World War II, pimento cheese was mentioned in newspapers nationwide, yet none of those newspapers described it as Southern. After World War II, pre-packaged pimento cheese lost popularity, but home cooks began making the caviar of the South themselves. One reason for the popularity of pimento cheese in the South came from the marketing of Duke's mayonnaise. Eugenia Duke was the founder of Duke's mayonnaise, and when they put out their mayonnaise, they even published a recipe for pimento cheese using their mayonnaise. Even if you don't play golf, you probably have heard of the Masters Golf Tournament in Augusta, Georgia. And there is where one of the most popular pimento cheese sandwiches is sold. And sold for only $1.50. And the man who was in charge of that sandwich and making it was Nick Rongos. And he lived from 1928 to 2015. And he, from the 1960s through the 2000s, was in charge of making sure that the pimento cheese spread that was on those sandwiches was perfectly done. There's a story written by, or told, I should say, by Dave Marr, who won the PGA Championship in 1965. When he came to play the Masters Golf Tournament for the first time, the great golfer Ben Hogan took him aside and told him that one of the things you need to do when you come to Augusta, and there are a few, is go over there, and Hogan pointed to the food concession, and get yourself a good pimento cheese, because you'll never have any better. As you will hear me say many times today, pimento cheese recipes are as varied as you can imagine. Here's one that is even a stovetop version, and it talks about using a double boiler, using Crisco, cornstarch, milk, salt, paprika, none of the things that we see in the recipes that I'll share today, but it does have the pimentos cut into small pieces as part of it. Here's a neat little article from the Conroe Courier, April 10th, 1936, and it states, "The club members busied themselves helping Mrs. Leslie Doty quilt a quilt, and it was almost finished when delicious pimento cheese sandwiches, olives, potato chips, and iced tea were served." If you want to grow your own pimentos, you can. And here is the seeds that will do it for you. It's the sweet pepper, and I looked this up to make sure I had it right. It's the sweet pepper pimento L, and this is what the pimento looks like also when it's growing. I've got this all mixed up now, and I'm going to set this to the side, and we're going to start making the 2018 version. So come on in a little closer so you can see me doing that one. I've got a full 4-ounce jar of the pimentos, and I'm just dicing that up. This doesn't say to make it fine, so I'm not gonna worry about making it extra fine, and I think that this just about does it. So let's go ahead and put that right here. Well, let's put it in the bowl. Here's our pimentos. I'd imagine this is going to have let's taste one of these. Yeah, it's not hot, but it does not taste like a bell pepper, so it does have a little bit different taste. But we are going to make this a little spicier because we are following this recipe here from Southern Living. And what we have here is we have about an eighth of a teaspoon of onion powder and a half teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And cayenne pepper is a particular type. You can just get red pepper, and red pepper just is a blend of red peppers. And then we have our mayonnaise, no cream cheese, although there is 8,000 ways to make pimento cheese. It's kind of like cornbread dressing, where whatever you make is what your family likes, in most cases. We have a teaspoon of the Worcester. And now we're going to mix all that up. Oh, this is neat. This is Hellmann's mayonnaise. They have 250 years celebrates America. I thought that was neat, especially since I did that whole series on America 250, our countdown. I'm still doing 250 years of American recipes. This has two types of cheese in it. It has the extra sharp and the sharp. And this is the sharp cheese right here. So I'll finish getting that grated, and make sure you use the fresh, grate it yourself. It'll take you 5 minutes to do it, but it makes a big difference. Don't buy the stuff that's already grated because it's treated with cornstarch so that the stuff doesn't stick together. But it's okay if it sticks together. So do this yourself, and plus you'll get a better quality cheese if you do it yourself. And here's our extra sharp cheddar cheese. Okay, we have our extra sharp cheddar cheese here and our sharp here. Now to put them together. This is a lot of cheese. I wonder which one will be better. Now, as I was saying before, there's many ways to do pimento cheese. One way I saw in older recipes, say before 1950, and even before 1940, there was a hot pimento cheese spread that you'd make on the stove. And then you would actually chill it and then spoon it up. And there was another one that had hard-boiled eggs in it. Another one that has pickle relish in it. So if there's one way to do it, there are 10 million, like I was saying about the cornbread dressing earlier. Well, here we have it. Here's our cream cheese pimento spread, our cheddar cheese, and then here is the store brand pimento cheese. You can see a difference in texture already. So let's give it a taste on a good piece of bread here. Get the old iron spoon working. And this is definitely some religious bread here, meaning it's so holy. Okay, this is the cream cheese. This is the cheddar cheese one from Southern Living. And here's the store-bought one, already in the tub. And we'll see which one is better. Now, one thing I want you to notice, though, is that in none of these do they have sugar added. And there is sugar in this one. And let me get one more. Let's make this a little fancier. I've got some lettuce and tomato here. Let me get one more piece of bread. Uh-oh, I'm forgetting which is which. Okay. Cheddar cheese. No. Yeah, cheddar cheese. Store-bought. I better put this here in front. Cream cheese. Leave the cream cheese by the cream cheese. Okay. Now I'm going to use this one, the cheddar cheese one from Southern Living. And this is, my mom talked about having a pimento cheese sandwich when she was going to nursing school in Galveston. And she said there was a little cafe there and they made the best pimento cheese sandwich, and they put lettuce and tomato on it. So let's do one all the way. Nice and formal. Let's start with the cream cheese one. I have no doubt this is going to be good. Yeah, it's excellent. However, the spices in it are so mild, all you really taste is the cream cheese. I mean, you have the look of it, but who doesn't like cream cheese? So it's delicious, but on that 1908 recipe, I'd put a little bit more mustard in it and maybe put a little bit more of the pimentos in there instead of just 2 tablespoons. This could have easily done 3 tablespoons. But certainly delicious. Okay, well, let's try the fancy one next. Well, let's save that for last. Okay, this one is the cheddar cheese one that I just made. Let's give that a taste. That is particularly good. You can taste that Worcester in there and the cayenne. I wouldn't put any more cayenne than that. This recipe actually called for a whole teaspoon of cayenne, but I just put in a quarter. And that's plenty to give a heat. You don't want to burn someone's mouth off. But that's very good. That's very good. That's the Southern Living one. Let's put that sandwich over here. Now this is the store-bought one. First thing I taste is sugar. Definitely sweet. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Been eating that forever. This is actually the first time I've ever made homemade pimento cheese. I thought this was the only way to get it. But that's not, I mean, that's very good. But so far, this one from Southern Living I like the best. But again, this with cream cheese just needs a little bit more, add a little bit more mustard to it, like I said. Now, let's have the gourmet one. Oh, look at that. Now that's a real sandwich there. Well, I'm going to have to go with, there's not a bad one here. But I'm going to go with the Southern Living with the cheddar cheese, first place, just because it has more flavor to it. And the 1908 recipe, excellent. It needs a little bit more flavor. But if you like cream cheese, you can't go wrong. And then the store-bought one. Now remember, this one has the one that has sugar in it. So if you like it sweeter, you could always add that to it. And as I was saying before, if there's one way to do pimento cheese spread, there are 1,000, 10 million, whatever number you want. With that being said, I bet that there's someone watching this that has a favorite pimento cheese recipe. And go ahead and add that to the comments if you feel like you'd like to share that. I think it would be neat to see what the ingredients are. You don't necessarily have to put the whole recipe, but you can maybe put the key points to it if you are so inclined. Well, that's it for the pimento cheese recipe. So thank you for joining me today, once again, in the Iron Spoon Kitchen.